Hey everybody, welcome to my top 5 Pokemon I would like to see added into Pokemon Unite. If you guys have any Pokemon you guys want to see added, let me know in the comments down below. The kind of ideas that you guys are kind of cooking up. With that being said, leave a like, subscribe, and even share this video to other content creators, and hopefully they could do a reaction. It really help me out, and try to up some of my views. With that being said, enjoy the video. Hmm. Okay, coming in at my number 5 spot is actually going to be kind of just a really underrated Pokemon who doesn't get really a lot of love in the community. Kind of much to Greedent, how we were all surprised that Greedent is even in the game. Um, I feel like this Pokemon does need a lot of love, so it is actually my favorite electric type. Oops. Heliolisk. And as for Heliolisk, I feel like the role he would fit perfectly in is actually going to be one that's been filled up recently with Speedster role. And I know we had Zoroark and Dodrio recently just been added to the game. And so we're kind of just getting up there in the amount of speedsters we added to Unite. But with that being said, I think it should be fine, right? As for his movesets, I actually gave him Parabolic Charge, is his signature move, so why not add that to the game? Along with Agility, Thunderbolt, and Quick Attack. Obviously, we see Surf and like how different Pokemon use it differently. So why not be able to just tweak these moves kind of just for Heliolisk? As for my idea for this Pokemon, I kind of thought just what if Dodrio had access to Venusaur's Giga Drain? It would be super annoying because he's a speedster and it's kind of just really hard to catch up to him. And although we see speedsters as kind of squishy type Pokemon, imagine if they had access to some type of life steal that could keep them alive. And that's actually what I thought Heliolisk would be perfect at. And in order to keep him balanced, obviously the range of attack would kind of be probably shorter. And obviously, if you're missing attacks, you're obviously still a very squishy Pokemon. And so I feel like that's kind of like how you would handle it in a way. Tell me what you guys think. If you guys have any ideas for like passive abilities, is that what they're called? And tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. And we'll go ahead and keep moving on down the list. Coming in at my number 4 spot is actually going to be 2 Pokemon. And if you go ahead and guess, then you probably should have guessed the 2 cutest mofos in Hoenn. And that is +1 my end. And for the role, I actually decided to make it a support role, question mark. And my idea for this was actually kind of have a supporter who can actually switch their role. So similar to kind of how Scyther feels like a speedster, and Sableye is like a defender, attacker, demolisher of everybody. I kind of just decided to make Minun kind of use the moves Helping Hand and Paralysis to aid teammates while also hindering enemies. However, by clicking down on your left analog stick, much to like similar to like Hoopa summoning berries, I feel like it would be really cool if you'd be able to switch to Plusle and then therefore would be more of an attacker type role, doing higher damage with Thunderbolt and possibly Volt Switch. And the idea kind of was like Mario Kart Double Dash, in which you could change partners so that way you could use your item. I thought it would be really cool if you could change positions and be supporter slash attacker, if that would work. And I feel like the kind of hollowware that could be added to the game would be like the cutest and rob everybody's pockets. So continuing up the list of number 3 is actually going to be another supporter. However, I feel like this is one a lot of people probably came up with. I feel like it's a really clever idea if you could get it done right. That's actually going to be Castform. Castform is a Gen 3 Pokemon that I love so much because I was born and raised in Hoenn. With that being said, obviously I feel like he should be a support mon. And probably the most interesting Pokemon for me, because as a support mon you'll be able to switch your moves much like Mew, except in this way you'll be able to switch your form. And kind of just the own ideas I came up with myself. Maybe you guys have different ideas for how this Pokemon could work. Was actually that the Sunny form would actually just increase your allies' attack speed for a short amount of time. However, if you're the Rainy form, would be your normal type of healing support. As for the Hailstorm form, I actually thought it would be really cool if you would be able to support your allies by increasing their defense and special defense for a short amount of time. It could be really big in certain fights and probably even Rayquaza or Zap. Also, I didn't put any moves for this one because I feel like it was really hard to like come up with stuff, because I felt like you would obviously utilize a move such as Weather Ball, I thought it would be really cool if Weather Ball would also change effect based on what kind of form you're utilizing. So what I just came up with really quick was that the Sunny Weather Ball would actually just lower attack of opponents, much like Slowbro Scald. And then as for the Rainy Weather Ball, would actually decrease the amount of life steal um, the enemies can actually take. So I feel like I use Greninja a lot, and Water Shuriken does bring back a lot of life steal. And so that way, if you're able to hit your Weather Ball on like a Greninja, it puts them in a position in which you have to decide, hey, can I finish this kill or should I retreat because I'm not bringing in as much life steal. And as for the hail, I just decided maybe just like decrease movement speed of enemies so that way it's a slow in which your allies can then jump in and finish the job. Tell me what you guys think. This is actually probably one when I was like kind of writing it out. I thought surely so many people thought about this one, but it's still just a really cool concept. So finally, we're at the number two spot, and with the number two spot, I kind of just decided at what point will they introduce Beedrill. And I know you're thinking Beedrill, oh, another Gen 1 Pokemon. They show Gen 1 so much love. And although I'm very much just like that in terms of judging how much they show Gen 1 love, I think Beedrill is going to be really cool to put into Unite because it would be the first Mega introduced into Unite. And filling the role of attacker, I decided the moveset would be X Scissor, Poison Jab, Quiver Dance, and Bug Bite. And my idea for this was, like I said, obviously to introduce the first Mega Pokemon and Hyper Carry, much as Cinder and Greninja, kind of just fill that kind of same role. And would utilize X Scissor, much kind of like Cinder's maybe Blaze Kick, Poison Jab. Would kind of be like a close combat kind of style. However, this Pokemon would be like super hyped because the Unite move would actually grant you the ability to go into your Mega Form. And I decided, okay, well, if we were to give his Unite move his Mega Form, then should the Unite move be a lower cooldown? But should it be more like Delphox's cooldown? Or maybe even how some of the footage on Dragapult kind of shows his Unite move being able to be used multiple times, like within a short amount of time, and possibly even a lower cooldown. And then I thought, well, how about we have Beedrill like normal form, um, be more of like a C tier, maybe B minus tier type of Pokemon. So the whole thing about this Pokemon is pretty much um, dependent on your Mega. So I thought maybe like 2 or 3 times. I say I think 3 times would probably be the perfect amount um, to be able to pop your Unite and turn into a Mega form, and then maybe it lasts like a minute. So out of the 10 minutes you're playing, like, yeah, out of the 10 minutes you're playing, you'll be able to use 3 of those minutes. You'll be in Mega form doing high damage and being that hyper carry. However, it's really like you have to make sure that your Unite move is used at the perfect amount of times because going into a Zap fight, if you're nowhere close to your Unite, then maybe you'll be done for it because then again you just revert back to being kind of a C tier type Pokemon. With that being said, what do you guys think about Megas in the game? And what Mega would you choose to be the very first Mega put into the game? Finally, coming in at my number one spot is going to be my favorite Pokemon of all time, which is actually going to be Swampert. And I think the role that he could fulfill is actually the defender role. We haven't really had a defender since Trevenant back in January, I believe, so it would be a really cool addition, as well as also just getting in more starters to the game. I feel like we all have a favorite starter, so I feel like at some point we just need to start implementing them slowly. Although I feel like he could easily be an all-rounder, defender would be really cool because I kind of see him as a mix between maybe Snorlax and T-Tar, and so give him the ability to do true damage. Because the way that like Rayquaza fights are going nowadays, like you got to be able to break shields. It's almost impossible to break through those shields. I think T-Tar does a really good job in doing that. So I kind of just thought have this steel wall standing on base, breaking shields, and also came up with the idea that like maybe using Earthquake, like a ground move and a water move together, would create an area of effect that can slow enemies and possibly even do damage to them over time. And yeah, I feel like that would be a really cool way to add a defender who really just fulfills that, like, I'm going to stay here, I'll do my job, I could solo for as long as I can. Um, Maybe just have like a lower damage or something like that. And if they put this Pokemon into the game, It is going to be my baby, and it is actually going to be favorited, and I'll work to get gold badge. So yeah. With that being said, hopefully you guys like my list. Um, Leave in the comments down below who's your favorite Pokemon, what Pokemon you guys would like to see in the game, and hopefully I could get more content out to you guys quicker. I am trying to work really hard to balance my schedule to come out with the schedule, and then I'll update you guys and we'll go from there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Thank you.